Drug addiction in the US has gone through the roof since COVID 19. And ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the worst it has been in 22 years. That's how far it has spiraled out of control. And let's face it, this opioid plague, they have never, ever, ever gotten it under control. But these are the same people that want you to believe they have come up with a vaccine that's going to take care of COVID. Now, come on, that's not even believable. Look at some of the other things they have never been able to resolve all throughout the years. Opioids started becoming bad 1999. We are 2021, and they no more got this resolved than they have coronavirus. It is the truth. You know, instead of running around and telling everybody you got a high IQ, why don't you resolve some of these huge things that are going on that you can't seem to get a grip on? That's what you should be focused on. Convincing us that you got a high IQ is downright laughable at this point. In fact, convincing the world of it is downright laughable. So I'm going to play this because it's so bad now, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to get Joe Biden to focus more on the drug plague that is happening in the country. So I'm going to play this from NPR. This is January 29th, 2021.
More than 200 Americans are dying every day from drug overdoses during the pandemic. It's not clear yet how President Biden will respond. He has not yet appointed people to lead key federal agencies tackling the drug crisis. Now his team faces criticism for delaying a policy designed to help people addicted to opioids. NPR addiction correspondent Brian Mann reports. In the final days of the Trump administration, Admiral Brett Giroir, then Assistant Secretary for Health, said with overdoses surging, doctors would be allowed to prescribe buprenorphine, a medicine widely viewed as the gold standard for treating opioid addiction, without first taking a training class and applying for a waiver. This change is earth-shaking to the substance use community, and I do believe it will save thousands or tens of thousands of lives. But the Washington Post reported yesterday the Biden administration is delaying the policy change because of legal concerns over how it was implemented. This is kind of bureaucratese, big time. Keith Humphreys, who studies addiction treatment at Stanford University, supported the Trump team's rule change. He says if more needs to be done to make buprenorphine more widely available, the Biden team needs to move fast. He said doctors tell him regularly they need this drug to help patients survive. I want to get this person on buprenorphine, and there's all these hassles. The Biden administration didn't respond to NPR's repeated inquiries. The stakes are high. Overdose deaths keep climbing, expected to top 83,000 this year. New research suggests Black communities are especially hard hit. Humphrey said the rollback of the buprenorphine rule comes at a moment when it's unclear what the Biden team will do to cut the number of drug deaths. Because of the optics of this, it will increase pressure on the administration to promptly put their drug policy officials into office and to roll out a far more comprehensive plan. Biden hasn't nominated officials to permanently lead the key agencies that focus on drug addiction. Experts interviewed by NPR acknowledge he faces an avalanche of other problems, from the pandemic to the economy. But Cassandra Frederick, who heads a group called the Drug Policy Alliance, says it's important Biden signal a focus on this crisis too, in part because of his own history. I don't think that Joe Biden has something to prove. What I would say is that Joe Biden has a debt to pay to communities. During Biden's career in the Senate, he was architect of tough-on-crime drug policies that often sent Black men suffering addiction to prison rather than getting them health care or treatment. Biden has acknowledged regrets about those policies, but Frederick says the president needs to show he's committed to change. What we hope is that we'll be able to push this administration to design a new drug policy that's actually based in science, health, and compassion. Experts say making buprenorphine more widely available to doctors and their patients is only one part of reforms needed fast to help keep people alive. Brian Mann, NPR News.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, just disregard that. You know how they play this, making us the face of everything. They can't make us the face of opioids. We done seen their faces for 22 years. So just disregard that. They did the same thing with COVID. When it comes down to COVID, oh, it's elderly and men that will get hit the hardest, and then all of a sudden it turned to black people. So so now they're trying to do the same thing with opioids. There's no doing this stuff. We done seen it for too many years, and it was not abundantly black people. But this is the little bait and switch game they always play. You know, we need to know these things and be aware of it. Don't be offended by it. You know, it's just showing who and what they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, opioids is getting worse in the country. It's getting far worse. And it is one of those things that's now getting pushed in the background because they are so focused on another situation that they can't seem to resolve, and that's COVID. And COVID is far worse than what they're telling us. And I might do a live stream to get everybody caught up on that. You know, they're hiding a lot of information that's not making it out to the public. So I might set that up a little later today. So be on the lookout. But, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think about this drug epidemic, 22 years strong, and now officially getting far worse now than ever before. And trust me, it's way more than 200 a day. They've always lowballed that number. Trust me, it's way, way more than 200 a day. You know, I did a video a few years back talking. I was talking to my son's doctor, and we were talking about the opioid plague. And he told me it's way, way higher than they're telling the public. And this is a man that works with patients and works with people, you know, coming in there with all kinds of problems every single day. And he told me that himself. It's way worse. If they tell you it's 200 a day dying, you could probably quadruple that number. That would probably be the real true number. These people are not about telling the truth. They are always trying to play around with numbers, and this is who and what they are. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And one more thing I want to say. If we were the face of opioids, would they care? You saw what happened when we were the face of crack. They did absolutely nothing but jail black people. If we were really truly the face of opioids, would this even be a story? We know hell no. Hell no. And they wouldn't be concerned about any of these things if it was us. So don't listen to the words, but watch the action. If you see them running around and they're screaming about this drug addiction spiraling out of control, you can best believe it's not us. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.